Junk journaling isn't just craft, it's soul work.
Savera's own story is quite something, isn't it? A corporate lawyer, a mother of 4.
Exactly. Amidst all that, this demanding career, a busy family life, she found art, or maybe art found her, as this kind of sanctuary. What if the most valuable art, most meaningful expression doesn't come from expensive supplies or perfect technique?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into, well, a really unique world. We're exploring the fascinating realm of journaling, and specifically the kind of profound philosophy behind transforming everyday scraps, bits and pieces, into deeply personal narratives. It's really about finding a sort of quiet magic in the mundane, wouldn't you say? A way to hold on to moments.
Absolutely. And this concept, it's not just abstract, it's vibrantly embodied by the brand Trinketz, which was founded by Savera. Her work isn't just about making beautiful handmade journals, though they are beautiful. It's really a testament to how art can become this vital outlet for self-expression. And importantly, a source of mental well-being, maybe even a path to healing.
Right. And Savera's own story is quite something, isn't it? A corporate lawyer, a mother of 4.
Exactly. Amidst all that, this demanding career, a busy family life, she found art, or maybe art found her, as this kind of sanctuary. It became her quiet space, to navigate things, find some peace, connect with something deeper.
So, our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear then. We want to understand how this seemingly simple act, crafting with scraps, can become such a powerful form of memory keeping and self-discovery too. We'll be digging into Savera's own words, her approach from her blog posts and videos to really get it. And for those of you listening who maybe journal already, get ready for, well, a different kind of spin on it. Okay, so first things first. For anyone new to this, or even if you journal but haven't heard the term junk journal used this way, what is it? According to the Trinketz philosophy, forget pristine notebooks. Think handmade, a personal archive almost.
Yeah, it's built up layer by layer with all sorts of papers, ephemera. Again, those little everyday paper things like tickets, receipts.
Things you'd normally toss out?
Exactly. Textures are big too. And of course, your memories, your thoughts. But the P, the real genius, is the repurposing. We're not talking about buying expensive new stuff. It's about taking things you might just throw away.
Like what specifically?
A used tea bag, maybe? The tag from it? A ticket stub, like you said?
Yeah.
Old envelopes with interesting linings, maybe packaging from something?
Right, things that have a bit of history already.
Precisely. And these scraps, they get woven into these beautiful layered pages, each one sort of telling its own little story.
So what makes it different then from, say, traditional scrapbooking or even a bullet journal?
Good question. It's really the approach. Within the Trinketz way of thinking, it's wonderfully wild, whimsical even. There are genuinely no rules. Seriously, no templates, no need to worry about being good at art.
It's quite freeing.
It really is. It's less about skill, more about just expressing yourself authentically. Picture it like a living canvas. It's part diary, part collage, maybe even a sort of storytelling altar where you kind of honor moments.
A storytelling altar? I like that.
Yeah, for many people, it's a way to make something tangible out of the everyday, giving those fleeting thoughts or feelings a physical home. And it often becomes this therapeutic ritual. Processing emotions, finding joy, or just getting grounded. The act of making, arranging, it's calming.
That no rules thing you mentioned, I think that's key. It makes it perfect for beginners, right? If you've ever felt kind of intimidated by art, thinking you need to be an expert, this seems like the opposite.
Totally. There's zero expectation of perfection. In fact, Savera actually celebrates the imperfections, scribbles, smudges, torn edges. They're not mistakes. They're part of the character, part of the beauty.
And the cost?
Virtually nothing if you want. Use old receipts, paper scraps, packaging from your recycling. Though it's worth mentioning, Trinketz does offer printable kits too, if you want a starting point with a theme.
Okay, so it's accessible. And it offers this emotional release, like collaging your feelings.
Exactly. Sometimes visuals work when words don't. Or you just want to reflect without structuring sentences. And, maybe most importantly in our always-on world, it encourages what Savera calls slow creativity.
Slow creativity. Explain that a bit.
It means no deadlines, no algorithms to please, no chasing likes, just you, the materials, and the moment. It's almost a kind of gentle rebellion against the digital rush, isn't it?
It really is a mindful practice.
Absolutely. And Savera's own story, her personal journey getting into junk journaling, it really shines a light on this slow creativity becoming something deeper, becoming what she calls soul work.
Soul work. That's powerful.
She talks about making her very first pages, her first journals, with such honesty. It wasn't just a hobby. It was like foundational for her well-being.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. That story about her very first page. Can you share the
Oh, definitely. It's very evocative. She started right with a piece of an old newspaper, something quite ordinary. Then she added a piece of lace trim.
Oh, yeah. Layers of meaning already.
And then a pressed flower from her own garden, capturing a moment of nature. She glued these onto simple craft paper, just a basic background, and added a tiny envelope, like a little secret pocket. And then she just wrote, "This moment felt like home."
Just that. This moment felt like home.
Yeah. Think about it. Newspaper scrap, old lace, a dried flower. These humble bits, put together with intention, capture this huge feeling. Belonging, peace.
It shows how ordinary stuff can hold deep emotion, can it?
Absolutely. It's extraordinary, really.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that kind of almost sacred process, it continued when she made her very first journal. She describes folding the pages, crackling tea-dyed pages, she calls them, feeling their warmth like an old memory.
Tea-dyed pages, so she stained them herself.
Yeah, a common technique in junk journaling, to give paper an aged look.
Yeah.
And again, the materials were so humble. She used, she says, the cheapest digital junk journal kit she could find online from a shop called the Journal Boat.
Okay.
And she stitched it together herself with what she called trembling hands, which tells you how much it meant, right?
Yeah.
That vulnerability.
Definitely. And what did she bind it with?
Get this. Old wedding envelopes, saved from someone else's wedding. The kind with that soft gold foil lining.
Wow. Talk about repurposing something with its own story.
Exactly. She felt they whispered stories even before she added her own. And it was through that whole process, raw, authentic, imperfect, that she had this big realization. Junk journaling isn't just craft, it's soul work.
Soul work. There it is again.
Yes. That first journal, full of mistakes, as she saw them then, became her sanctuary, her space for quiet unraveling, she says. A place to process, reflect, let go. And eventually, a tool for her own healing.
It really shows how making something physical can mirror an internal journey, doesn't it? Turning chaos into, well, something beautiful, even if it's messy.
Precisely. And this personal discovery, this soul work, it didn't just stay personal. It grew into the bigger vision for Trinketz. She co-founded it with Sarah, who's also a mother, passionate about books, storytelling.
Right. You mentioned Sarah started with a favor box business.
That's right, yeah, a home-based business in Pakistan before she moved to Dubai. So Trinketz has this sort of international shared creative root.
Okay, so let's talk about the Trinketz philosophy itself. You said 3 core principles.
Yes, 3 powerful ideas that really lift it beyond just selling crafts. The first is reduce, recycle, recreate. And it's not just a greenwashing slogan. It's a real commitment to seeing value in the discarded, breathing new life into forgotten things.
Like the wedding invitations, the old lace.
Exactly. Old saris, shirts, even old phone book pages. Imagine the history in those yellow pages, now part of someone's personal journal.
It adds such a layer of depth, doesn't it? Beyond just being eco-friendly. It feels like you're holding history.
You are, in a way, which connects beautifully to their second principle, empowering women. This has been part of their mission since way back in 2008, working with women in underserved communities.
How does that work practically?
They provide skills training, opportunities. It's about fostering dignity, economic independence. We've seen stories where women gain not just craft skills, but confidence, a renewed sense of purpose. It impacts families, communities. It's holistic.
That's fantastic creativity leading to tangible change.
It really is. And the third principle ties it all back, promoting wellness through journaling. This links directly to Savera's soul work idea. Journals as sanctuaries, spaces for healing, for introspection.
In a world pulling us outwards, it's about carving space inwards.
Exactly. Releasing emotions cathartically, finding clarity, crafting your own narrative, page by page, finding solace, maybe strength.
And when you actually watch Savera craft, say in her videos, you see this resourcefulness in action. It's quite practical.
Oh, absolutely. Her use of local Pakistani materials, for instance, like the laces and trims from tailor shops.
Because clothes are often custom stitched there.
Right. So those materials are readily available, affordable. It's smart working with what's around you. And her process, it's so intuitive, iterative. She often layers things without gluing them down right away.
So she can change your mind.
Yeah. Lets the design evolve. And she works in short bursts, 10 or 20 minutes. Makes it less daunting, fits into a busy life.
And she embraces the imperfections.
Totally. calls herself a messy crafter, talks about wonky cuts. You see her using masking tape to fix fragile paper or covering a mistake with lace in her seed packet journal project. It's all about adapting and creating that lovely bulk, that tactile feel, but also cleverly reducing it where needed, like cutting up thick trims, working with the materials.
So, bringing this all back, after exploring Trinketz and Savera's journey, why should someone listening care about jump journaling? What's the takeaway?
Well, I think it's about finding meaning in your everyday life, those small moments that slip away.
Preserving them somehow.
Yes, and discovering a creative outlet that values you, your authentic expression, way more than perfection. It's like giving yourself permission to be imperfect, to gather the scraps, physical or emotional, and stitch them into your own unique story.
That's a lovely way to put it.
It really raises a big question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What if the most valuable art, the most meaningful expression, doesn't come from expensive supplies or perfect technique? What if it comes from unexpected places, humble materials?
Like old newspapers and bits of lace.
Exactly. Savera's journey, the Trinketz philosophy, it shows that value can emerge from the simplest things, and that the process itself, the doing of it, can be incredibly therapeutic, a path to understanding yourself better, maybe even healing.
So in the end, this deep dive really highlights this almost magical power, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Transforming ordinary scraps into, well, extraordinary soul work, into cherished memories. It reminds you that meaning is often hiding right there in the everyday stuff.
Absolutely. Waiting for us to notice, collect it, give it a new life in our own story.
Which leaves us with a final thought, something for you listening to consider.
What if the truest stories of our lives, the really authentic ones, aren't in the big, polished narratives we try to construct? What if, instead, they're quietly waiting to be found, gathered up, and carefully stitched into meaning? From all those forgotten scraps, those humble textures, the little bits we've collected along the way.